The end of the Apple Car, Luce.
Oh,
Have you been
yeah.
horribly depressed about this?
I was shocked, as I think the world was. Apple reportedly canceled all development on self-driving car Tuesday. That's 2 days ago. Company shifting its focus. You don't believe this to AI.
Well, it does seem like it would be more lucrative for them, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Project Titan, Apple's not so secret project to develop a self-driving vehicle, has been going on for about 10 years. We've heard multiple management changes and at least one round of layoffs. I love that the New York Times had a story this week that said that internally, some of the people on the project called it, instead of calling it Project Titan, they called it the Titanic disaster.
Project Titanic. That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're just saying, like, as recently as January, Apple supposedly switched the project's goal from high-level autonomous driving to an electric vehicle with limited driver assistance capabilities, sort of like like a Tesla, a Me Too Tesla.
Yep.
Now the company's abandoning the whole idea. It's become, Gurman, of course, over at Bloomberg broke this story. The report cited unnamed, quote, people with knowledge of the matter saying Apple pulled the plug on Project Titan and told the entire development team of about 2,000 people the bad news this week. 2,000 people.
Wow, it's unbelievable.
Isn't that, I mean, that's a U-turn for your career, right? So the end of the Apple Car was announced by COO Jeff Williams and Kevin Lynch, who headed up the project. Gurman reported many employees on the team working on the car, known as the Special Projects Group, or SPG, will be shifted to the Artificial Intelligence Division under Executive John Giannandrea. Hard name to pronounce. Those employees will focus on generative AI projects, an increasingly key priority for the company. That's the part that I found depressing. What I found really sad about this is the idea of Apple abandoning this sort of moonshot project. New York Times again had a story, later this week talking about it, kind of like behind the scenes what's going on. This is a quote from them. The group developed an array of new technologies, including a windshield that could display turn-by-turn directions and a sunroof that would feature special polymer to reduce heat from the sun. Johnny Ive and his team of designers drew concepts of a car that would look like a European minivan, such as the Fiat Multipla 600,
Oh
which has a
wow.
half dozen windows and a curving roof. No steer. This supposedly, the idea at one point way back at the beginning was no steering wheel, and that this thing would be controlled using Siri, which is only slightly terrifying. Oh
I got a
God,
story, but I'll refrain.
so helpful. So helpful. She's here to help me with some results that I probably have to look at on my iPhone to see and hear. Wouldn't
Hold
that
on,
be
wait,
great?
Sorry, now you're giving me a crack. I got to dive in here just real fast. I was using dictation with Siri the other day, and I was saying so and such has done this thing, has HAS, and it
Yeah.
changed it into capital
HAAS. Yeah.
HASS.
Because everybody's talking about avocados at all times,
Dude,
day and night.
that
Siri is just that good.
truly mind blowing to me. I hope that AI can fix that.
Yeah. So let's see here. I don't know. I mean, I wrote this piece about it, laying out my sort of depressing. I found it very depressing. Instead of a revolutionary self-driving car, we're they're gonna spend all their time and effort, because a bunch of these people are moving to generative AI efforts, right? So what's that going to be? Pages will be able to summarize your rough draft into bullet points, or, maybe you can generate some kind of image that may or may not be accurate. Instead of like this, let's change the transportation industry. Let's come up with a fantastic car that has all these amazing features. They've had, I don't know how many, tons and tons of patents over the years, right? Cool features that could have gone into this car.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just those two examples that the New York Times mentioned. I mean, wouldn't that be awesome? Have a car that was actually like better and smarter and an actual like leap forward, as opposed to just another electric car. I mean, there's tons of them out there, as certain people were pointing out in their own opinion pieces about this topic. So I found it kind of weird, and I also it made me really feel kind of sad about Apple, and like they basically just acknowledge, well, we can't do this. We can't make a difference in this in this industry. And instead, they are going to do what everybody else is doing. It feels like they're going like with the big AI fad.
I don't know if AI is a fad. I don't know if you've taken a look at Nvidia's stock lately. It's
Well,
like,
yeah, but I mean, my Mac is completely frozen up, by the way, so I don't know.
oh, great.
What's going to go wrong here, but
Well, you're
I
still here.
can't get back to. Oh, wait. Oh, no, it's starting to kind of work again.
Okay.
Maybe I need to close a few tabs or
Try
something.
that.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's obviously the hottest thing around tech. Buzzy, buzzy, buzzy AI. I mean, they'll put AI on anything today. One of the things we were joking about in Slack today was like, there's this like pet food company that's talking about how it's AI powered. It's like, come on. Yeah, I mean, I realize that like the market right now is a Twitter about this,
Yeah.
but you know, I liked Apple's approach to AI before, where they didn't like talk about it every third sentence, where they just like did things with it and developed features that worked well. But now, I mean, especially the thing that I found really just odd was Gurman specifically saying that they're not just working on AI, they're working on generative AI. And that's what, that's where the gibberish comes in, right? Like, oh, great, yeah, it tells you super uh, confidently facts that just aren't true. It creates images that look interesting but have seven fingers. It's I don't know. I found it personally. I found it very disappointing. Like a realization that Apple can't. They just gave up. They gave up on this kind of big blue sky idea, right? This big interesting project, and and then I can't help but think, what have we had recently? Oh, well, we got the Vision Pro, which I don't know, giant hit, not really. Maybe it will be eventually.
I think eventually it will be. I do think that.
Yeah.
Like it's not there yet. And we'll talk about that more later in the episode, but like, having lived with it for the 2 weeks that I had it, I definitely saw the hype. I was like, this is incredible. And once they make this smaller and lighter and cheaper, it is going to be absolutely everywhere. But that's going to take a while, obviously.